Fuck, I gotta tell you, Jesse, I've got a headache.
Yeah, you
I
do?
feel like a fucking robot's gonna bust out of that any second.
Welcome to From the Ground Up with Steaming Clocks, the only podcast where you've already figured out the porn parody.
Wow. What are we talking about, Jesse?
Talking about fucking FOOLY COOLY. What is FOOLY COOLY? It's when you do it with your hands like this.
Oh.
It's a quote from the show.
Alright.
It's okay, I'm sure you don't remember much.
I
feel like if there is such a thing as input overload or information overload, that show is that.
Yeah, like I was definitely in the room as we were watching FOOLY COOLY, but I was also having a pretty good time building the Millennium Falcon out of Lego, so my focus may have shifted during episodes.
For those of you who don't know, FOOLY COOLY is an anime produced by Studio Gainax, same studio that produced Evangelion. The show was produced in the late 1990s.
And it looks good.
It's really well animated.
It looks good, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we'll more or less get into throughout this. Questions, answers, gushing about the beautiful animation, but it's a 6-episode show, and it's pretty much was treated as if it was a movie.
Nice. I definitely have more questions than answers.
Alright.
So we'll work through it. Fuck. Yeah, so what's the plot?
The plot?
Yeah, give us the plot.
The plot.
I watched it, I don't know what the plot is.
The plot of FOOLY COOLY is there's a young boy who lives in a town, and that town has a facility in it run by a company called Medical Mechanica.
Medical Mechanica.
Yep.
And their building looks like a giant iron.
The building looks like a giant iron for very good reasons.
Yep.
And then one day, this main character, whose name escapes me, is hit in the head with a bass guitar wielded by the second main character, Haruhiro Haruko, riding her Vespa, as Luke is currently looking at the FOOLY COOLY poster on the wall.
We post on the wall. It's very high up because we are sitting on the ground, but
yeah.
You know.
And they engage in 6 episodes worth of adventures with their robot pal Kanti, who, in case you didn't know, comes out of a horn out of the main character's head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's...
He's also got a TV for a head.
Kanti does have a TV face.
Good aesthetic.
Alright, Luke. What's your first question about FOOLY COOLY? Because I've watched all 6 episodes from beginning to end at least 7 or 8 times.
Yeah, no, sure. My first question is, what?
FOOLY COOLY.
Yeah, FOOLY COOLY. No, we'll get into questions, but I think I want to talk about what I really liked about it, and that was what you said, the animation.
Ooh.
There's this one shot in the first episode,
I know
which
exactly
is like,
what you're talking about.
yeah, there was like on the bridge where a character's shocked, and like the camera like zooms around the character in like 180 degrees, and then like goes to another character and zooms around them, and that's just like
Smocho. It's really good.
It does look really good.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I'm not, because I'm pretty sure they used minimal computer generated effects in this show. It's all pretty lovingly done by hand in a 2D style, which those panning shots are really, really good.
Yeah.
So not only did this come out in the late 90s, we did actually watch this on a DVD. So I'd very confidently say a lot of this stuff, a lot of the animation does stand up to what you would see on a modern day Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It
looks good.
It's clean. The animations are slick. The cuts are really, really nice. If we're talking about animation we fucking loved, it happens twice in the show, and they actually reference this as to why it only happens twice is because apparently it was super fucking expensive to do. They create like an animated manga page.
It's like a manga read along sort of thing.
So it's all done in like a pen style, and you have the panels, but within each panel it's there are the different animated motions and scenes, and they've got the sound. It's just really good.
Yeah.
In fact, do yourself a favour, pause this, go onto Google, type in FOOLY COOLY animated manga scene, and see what you can find, because it's good shit.
Yeah.
Are you back?
Alternatively, we could just link it below. We're telling you that now after you've gone to YouTube it, so...
Sorry I wasted your time. There will be a link below.
Yeah, take the description first. It's right next to the like button.
Ha
Is it though? I don't know what the layout of YouTube is. No.
If I could get to know your platform, man.
Well, Nah. The character designs as well. I really like the main character with the bass guitar. Listen, right now, I'm not going to attempt any of these characters' names.
Haruhiro Haruko.
Yeah, what he said. That character design I really like.
Fun fact, she actually has another name in that show.
Yeah, because you find that she's an alien?
She's like an alien police cop, sort of.
Yeah.
Rahiru, I think, is the name that the other guy gives for her.
Mm.
I love how I can remember all of those names, but not the main character. I got none. So, yeah, so Haruhiro Haruko.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll go through the characters. Yeah, her design was really good. She was insane.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because we'll put up the image here, but for so much of Fully Coolly that I knew was this post that we have on the wall here. And the idea I had of how this character behaved versus how they behave in the show, very different. They look pretty cool and collected, but nah.
No, they're all fucking insane.
Yeah.
I think the only one, and I have the names up now, the only person in this entire show who is even remotely normal, and this includes all of the people characters, is the main character, Naota. That's his name. He has a lot of nicknames.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, I want to get into his dad. Quite possibly the worst character I've ever seen in any show.
Alright, quick question. Who do you think is a worst father? Naota's dad or
Gendo.
Gendo,
Gendo Akari.
Yeah, there we go.
Gendo never wore a swastika.
Did he? I wasn't... So Luke bought me a fucking a Gundam kit. So I was building that pretty much the whole time we were watching, and I missed the swastika bit.
Yeah, no, like straight up, his dad is in the was it Brittle Bullet episode where they're having like a paintball match. He's straight up wearing like
Yeah, because he's pretending to be a Nazi. That's the whole. It's the game. You don't complain about fucking actors or
all right.
shit.
So in terms of dads, Gendo's worse. In terms of characters,
This
guy's worse.
Like
the bit where like the main character rocks up with, I'm gonna just call her bass guitar girl.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, when main character walks up with bass guitar girl.
Wait, no, let's call it the Vespa woman. That's what she is.
Oh, the Vespa woman.
There
All
we
right.
go.
So when the main character rocks up with Vespa woman, the dad's gonna be like, "You two fucking ooh," and then he just goes on a tirade for 5 fucking minutes, screaming about
Running on num-nums!
yeah, screaming about.
I fucking love this show.
Yeah, I'm like, I should really watch it because I did really like what I saw, but I'm gonna pace it out when I rewatch it because it's very.
No, to double back on what I said before, this show definitely encompasses what I would describe as an information overload. It's really, really interesting. I think it does it. It's to its credit.
Yeah.
You know, like it feels like the guys who made it really understood the limitations of what they were working with. They knew they only had 6 episodes to do it, and they really knuckled down on just cramming information into it. Layers and layers of stuff going on. Like quick throwaway lines that you don't realize mean anything. I don't think there is a single thing said in the show that doesn't have like some overall or overarching meaning to the whole fucking thing. Fucking still chilling on Naota's dad. How'd you feel about the electric chin massage?
Oh god! So wait, was he the robot replacement at that point?
I think he
it
was,
because
yeah.
you see the power cord like coming out his back.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Well, see, even little elements like that, I think are really fucking clever, and that's why I'm really keen to watch this again.
because at the time like you just think it's an electric chin massage gag, but then later you find out that
No, he's actually a robot.
the Vespa woman has knocked his dad out and replaced him with a robot replica.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, yeah.
That's like that. It just goes to the show's credit, the layers of what the fuck is going on. Just to keep going on this line of like fucking crazy shit that happens. If you haven't watched the show already and you haven't been absolutely sold by our ramblings of how insane this is, there is legitimately a scene where the main character gets sucked up into the robot. The robot turns red, turns into a giant gun, fires out a bullet, and then you find out it's the main character.
Yeah. Jeez. Alright, the robot designs as well.
Oh, they're amazing.
The image of a robot with just a vintage TV set as a head. That's cool.
Well, if you want another example of a spectacular animation, the first scene when Kanti and the other robot comes out of Naota's skull, it's visceral, it's fucking great. It honestly does. It's amazing how, oh shit, yeah, like 20 years later, it's still, this show would still be on the forefront of animation and shit. Like, there is some of the best stuff in the past couple of years, I would say, is on par with that, which came out 20 years ago.
Yeah. Alright, another character I want to talk about is, smoking high school girl.
Mamimi. I think it's Mamimi?
Mamimi? Memes?
Mamimi Samejima.
Alright.
Mamimi Samejima.
Bit of a predator.
Yeah! So that is a thing.
Her introduction is giving a 12-year-old a hickey.
Well, it is heavily implied that they do have, like, a physical relationship.
Because
and it is up to, like, the audience to decide really how far they go.
Yeah. So, I think the way I understood it was she dated the main character's brother.
Yep.
Then he went to America to play softball.
Baseball, but yes,
baseball.
baseball.
I don't give a shit.
Hey, fuck it. Dude, of the 5 people watching, one of them likes baseball, and you just made him really mad. It's me, by the way. I'm the 5. I'm the one person watching this show back that likes baseball. Because none of our friends like baseball. You know that.
No. I played T-ball once. That was pretty good.
T-ball's fun. She's a predator.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. Without doubt. She's like, oh no, my boyfriend's gone. I'm just going to fuck his brother.
Well, yeah, there's this idea that she's clearly very emotionally repressed. I think it's pretty heavily implied that she burnt down
the primary school.
The primary school that they went to.
She's a bit of a firebug.
No, exactly. But I think an important distinction to make as well is that you never see her parents, which is clearly...
Yeah, she's kind of homeless because you see her like,
I'm
washing her
pretty sure
clothes
she's
in the
fucking
river.
homeless.
Yeah.
And yes, I think there was that all that emotional fucked up shit, and she clearly used Naoto's brother as an emotional crutch and outlet. And you know, she's like, I think she's in middle school, so she's got to be about, I reckon she's about 14, 15.
They say she's 17.
17? Oh wow, that's way older than I was.
Main character's 12.
That makes sense. But yeah, she's well, just think about how you were, like, at 17 years old. And I'm not gonna lie, you're a dude. I'm pretty sure I can sum up how all of your emotions were expressed in some way, shape, or form. And it's, I want to fuck something.
There's a bit of that, yeah. We all go through that point.
Yeah.
A lot of crying as well.
Yeah, a lot of crying.
Yeah,
a lot of crying as a teenager.
Yeah.
I remember just crying at the sky once. It was weird.
Yeah, weird times.
But yes, like, a very emotionally repressed person is going to be like, well, I'm going to, like, my emotional outlet is physical contact. And then, well, look, there's this kid who's kind of fond of me. I'm going to use him. That's such an interesting underlying character arc for the main character as well, is to learn to value yourself. He clearly has an inferiority complex with his brother. It's explored in the baseball episode, which ends with him using a magic guitar as a bat, and then hitting a satellite, which is also a medical mechanica machine, which is also a giant baseball, into the stratosphere. I fucking love the show. But you see that his whole thing is that he never swings, and it's I had a similar outlook when I was a kid. You know, you're around people who are so successful, who are so talented, and you think the only way to win is to not play the game. You know, it's that whole thing of like, well, if I never try, I never fail. And you see that with all of his relationships. He just sort of leaves them. You know, I'm pretty sure his relationship with Mamimi is kind of cool to him, because he sees him. He's like, I'm a replacement for my brother. And at this point in life, he will settle for that. He's like, that's fucking cool. I've always looked up to him. He's the most successful person in my life because, admittedly, his dad's a deadbeat. You know, he's he runs a shitty bakery and writes conspiracy magazines.
Yeah.
Sounds all He's such a pathetic nerd. He spent actual time in his life discussing and dissecting Evangelion.
What a fucking nerd.
Yeah. What a piece of shit.
Do that.
Classic self-burn.
Fucking got him. Got ourselves.
Fucking got ourselves for talking about Evangelion for so goddamn long.
Hoisted on our own petards.
No, it's just it's a really interesting, like, mentally it's a very interesting show. You know, it's no character is simple. Even Haruko, who comes off as just like fucking tornado of madness. Her lust for power and even what she wants is something really fucking interesting because you don't know.
All right, so medical mechanic. Medical Mechanica.
Medical Mechanica.
Medical Mechanica has what's his name? The Pirate King? Like
Cannot remember.
yeah, I think he's addressed as the Pirate King. His name's something different. Like starts with an A.
Does start with an A. He's not on the list of characters that I have here because he shows up. He's only Atmisk. It says it here. Atmisk.
Atmisk. All right, so
The Pirate King.
The Pirate King. So she essentially like wants to free him and sort of bond with him and get his power.
So I think what the implication is that because it goes through 3 phases throughout the story.
Yeah. So
which is 6 episodes long.
Nice. So the Pirate King's pretty much like he's like a superpowered space being.
Kind of. It's discussed that he's a superpowered space being.
Interdimensional superpowered being?
Kind of. The reason why he's superpowered is the answer to probably, I think, one of the most commonly asked questions, which I'm surprised you haven't asked yet.
Why?
Why? And the version of why is why does a robot come out of Naota's skull?
Yeah. Honestly, I just sort of went, I just go with the flow with that one.
So what it is that there's a like there's an energy that exists in this universe that you can sort of pull things out of thin air or like teleport things. So Naota has quite a lot of it, and his whole skull is filled with it. That's why in the first episode there's an X-ray. It's like, "Wow, your brain's gone." It's because his brain had essentially become like a portal to in which you could pull out whatever you desire. So every time, that's why like horns are coming out of his head. That's why she actually pulls the guitar out of his skull as well. And then later on in the series, you see the CAI? What's the Japanese defense? A secret agent Japanese dude. He gets hit in the head. His thing is activated, but all that comes out is like this tiny little thing. Yeah. So Atmisk is like the king of the pirates, or the Pirate King. Not the king of the pirates, different show. Because he has so much of that energy that he's said to be able to pull entire universes through it.
Nice.
And there.
I'm just hearing the Pirate King and now. I've just got the Pirates of the Caribbean theme stuck in my head.
Really?
Pretty good, yeah.
I've got the fucking shitty One Piece rap.
Oh.
Ayo, dreaming!
Brilliant.
There's a big difference in the quality of music we're thinking about right now. Yeah, so to get back to Haruko, her desire for Atmisk changes 3 times. It's established first that she wants to arrest him as part of the police force. Medical Mechanica is holding him. It is then we're then told that she wants to free him because there's some sort of romantic thing there. And the final one is she wants to essentially steal his power. She was like, I want to be an all-powerful being. Fuck you! And I'm not going to spoil who gets it, but like, there's a pretty fucking sick scene in the final episode, which is totally fucking worth it.
Nice. Now, I had a quick glance at the most reliable sources, Wikipedia, a while back, and so are there like the sequel series to this?
So yes, there actually is 2 sequel series, which I have not yet watched.
Okay.
I think there was an element of I was a bit scared to watch them. I'm still probably a little bit scared to watch them.
Yeah.
On an unrelated note, I feel like online streaming has sort of changed quite a bit since I was in high school. So the first time I watched this, I was probably 16. And that was back in the days where...
You would have to go digging to find this stuff.
Well, not really. If you knew where to look, it was fucking piss easy. But the only way to do it was to stream it online. Like, Crunchyroll was a piss-and site back then. I think nowadays people say it's like one of the big... It is like the biggest paid streaming library. But it's only just recently that it's become worth it to actually pay for it. Back when I was 16, which is fucking... Jesus. 8 years ago now. It wasn't worth it. You get on there, it had like fucking 50 shows, and that's just not fucking enough. So you just stream it online. Nowadays, not so much the case. I find it really fucking difficult to stream anime. Some of the sites I use are still up and still work, but my big problem is, well, we live in Australia. We're not exactly hiding that fact. Yeah. And if you want to know a fun fucking trivia fact about Australia, we have shit internet here. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
And all these servers for all the illegally streaming anime, it's all held overseas. So the servers suck. They're really bad. Half of the time I'll try and watch something and it just won't fucking work. I went on a bit of a tangent there. A bit of Australian internet hate. My point is...
Basically, fuck the NBN, is what we're saying.
Basically, fuck the NBN. It's terrible. We're way behind most countries.
Yeah.
But back when this came out, there was nothing. It only got a sequel, like, a year ago, 2 years ago maybe.
Okay.
So yeah, for many years of my life, this was all of Fooly Cooly. So I can't tell you anything about the sequels.
Fooly Cooly, Fooly Cooly.
Fooly Cooly, Fooly Cooly. Fooly Cooly! Oh, I love this show.
Nice. There was... Alright, so one thing that I thought it would do more of, because it does it in the first episode, and then occasionally every now and then, there's one point where like it explicitly shows the characters in like a tour bus talking about how they just filmed the scene.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought like, oh, this is going to be like a pretty meta show, and it's meta to a degree, but not to that extent very often.
Okay, so I think what we get here is like there is a difference in terms of culturally how meta things are. To one extent, I feel like the fact is it came out in 1999, I think, around then anyway. That was well before animated shows decided to get meta. Like in that whole space, there had been meta stuff, but to my understanding, there wasn't that much meta content in terms of television or particularly animation. And I feel like Western shows, I think if we're talking about Voltron, it's like, to use Voltron as an example, because that's the first meta thing I can think of. Where they do
Legendary Defender?
Legendary Defender, yeah.
Yep, the Netflix series.
The first meta thing I can think about is the episode they did where they were playing
Dungeons and Dragons.
Sort of commenting on like their own, like they were using that as a tool to reflect upon all their own like character classes and shit.
Shiro only wants to be a paladin.
Yeah.
But was it really Shiro?
I feel like Western shows address meta humor and meta writing quite aggressively. It's like constantly going to be we're meta, it relies heavily on breaking the fourth wall. It's like we're gonna kick down the fourth wall, we're gonna break the TV screen, we're gonna sit down next to him, we're all gonna watch the show together. I feel like for me, Japanese, or how I see it anyway, is a lot of Japanese media sort of breaks that meta stuff or is self-referential in terms of making fun of itself. I can't remember what the show is, but one show that completely disproves this point is it's a show where the whole aesthetic is there's two little young anime girls and they're voiced by middle-aged men, and it's fucking hilarious. They literally do a whole, like, it's like a sketch thing. They do a whole little segment where it's like a storyboard. They're voice acting a storyboard, and then they're influencing them and shit, and then you cut to the voice actors in the booth being like, what the fuck is this shit? This is terrible. This is bullshit. And then you look underneath the booth or a chair, and like it's one of the fucking anime characters, like,
Nice.
Yeah, that one's aggressively meta. But I think a better example of meta in terms of anime, I feel like would be Kill la Kill, where that show actively makes fun of a lot of anime tropes, like the introductions, the ever-changing size of characters in that show is a jab at a lack of consistency at times. Fucking, it just pisses on the magical girl genre. Like, the first thing you see is a openly promiscuous fucking sailor outfit, and then it gets even more promiscuous, and all the characters involved are like, this is fucking ridiculous, and the whole time you sit there thinking like, I get it, Sailor Moon, I get it, magical girl costumes that show a lot of legs and a lot of goodies.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I feel like this show becomes more meta. Like, that's its only instance of breaking the fourth wall, but the whole show in and of itself is kind of making fun of crazy anime plots, you know? Makes a lot of fun of giant robot anime. It's
relentless, this show. It'll jump around. Like, I remember it was very suddenly at one point, there was like, it just went to South Park parody. And then just like, suddenly it's manga style, and then just, manga. I don't care.
No one's gonna get mad about it.
Mango stuff.
Not enough people watch this shit to get mad about this.
Yeah.
Well, you know, maybe in like 5 years, when people actually start watching our shit, they'll come back to it. It's like, hey, it's pronounced manga. Yeah. Don't you know? We're ruled by the Asians now. Well, gotta fucking pronounce it right. That's my call. There's gonna be a world war. It's gonna go badly for us because we're all fucking idiots.
Oh dear. Oh god. What else should we touch on? For Fooly Cooly? Fooly Cooly? Fooly Cooly?
Alright, like, what is Fooly Cooly?
I don't fucking know. It's whatever you want it to be.
Pretty much.
Does that work? Is that a cop-out answer?
I think it's a pretty legit answer.
I think the first The first sort of description we're given of what Fooly Cooly is from the character's dad, where he's pretty heavily implying that it's fucking.
He's pretty heavily implying it's fooling around, and so is the grandfather. The grandfather is implying that Fooly Cooly is a particular way to manipulate a woman's breasts to pleasure her in a great degree.
Oh god.
It's Fooly Cooly.
Mm-hmm.
You do it like this with your hands. There's a lot of gesturing. There's a lot of gesturing that doesn't really work over an audio-based medium.
Yeah.
Over the speaking. You can't speak gestures.
Over the speaking.
Why you don't see a lot of Italian podcasts? Can't get the communication across.
Mamma mia.
Talking with the hands. That's why I'm not good at this, because I'm talking with the hands.
Oh.
No, Fooly Cooly is madness, man. I love it. I love it so fucking much. Any final questions before we move on?
I have so many questions, but I can't just pick one of them. I'm gonna pull it from my head like a robot.
Instead of a rabbit out of the hat, it's a
fucking robot! It's a robot out of my skull.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah. Not a question, but I haven't mentioned it yet, and I feel I should, because I thought it was great, was old mate's eyebrows.
Oh!
So the eyebrows is what you use to stop people from pulling stuff out of your head?
Yeah, so the eyebrows are meant to be like, to stop people influencing you and like, pretty much pulling things out of your head using this subspace thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they just look like stupid fucking eyebrows.
Yeah.
And they do a really good job of pulling attention to it like it's ridiculous, because everybody looks at him, just says eyebrows.
The first thing I said when this character appeared was like, look at this guy's fucking eyebrows, and then very shortly every other character was like, your eyebrows are stupid. Eyebrows.
Well, see, there we go. I feel like that's a perfect example of how this show handles meta-humor. Is it addresses things that you're going to be like, that's fucking ridiculous, or like, that's interesting. And then the characters like will then empathize. You'll then empathize with the characters because they're like, that is all. We also agree. This is very fucking strange.
Very silly.
Very silly.
Oh, also, yeah, the medical mechanica building that looks like an iron literally gets used as an iron.
Yeah, it's meant to iron out the planet, like ironing out the grooves in the brain that make you think. So the whole implication is that medical mechanica is like some big interstellar, like... I don't know where that left off, but we stopped recording.
Yeah, so we were talking about the medical mechanica iron building being used as an iron to wrinkle out the planet.
You know what? I'm going to use some media magic and shit. Turns out we couldn't do that. I couldn't figure out how to do it. Don't know how to work Audacity. Oh, well, that's fine. I'll edit it in post.
Yeah, well, fucking fix it in post. So... So the medical mechanica building looks like an iron.
It does.
It gets used as an iron. That's pretty good. So what's that about?
So it's pretty heavily implied that Medical Mechanica is some interstellar company, interstellar force, interstellar empire, as it were, possibly engaged in some war of the stars.
Oh.
And its whole goal is to kind of like wipe out independent thought. So they treat, like, the irons are literally giant irons to iron out the planet as if they are ironing out the grooves of the brain. Which apparently creates thought. That could be scientifically accurate. I don't know. I didn't look that up beforehand.
Yep.
That was a sip of ignorance.
Sip of ignorance. You gotta fucking use them brain wrinkles, my dude.
I do love the fact how they, because I didn't really notice that the first time I watched it. Your girlfriend sort of called it out straight away. I was like, why the fuck that building looked like an iron?
Yeah. At first, I thought that it might have just been an aesthetic thing, but then steam literally came out of it, and I was like, that's an iron.
Yeah. It wasn't until the big hand robot was sort of like, and I was like, oh shit, it's an iron. I get it. I don't get what it's for, but I get it.
God damn.
Oh my god. Got any last words for Fooly Cooly, Luke, before we inevitably watch this again and hopefully become less confused?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it again, but when I do, I'm going to definitely pace it out.
Yeah.
Like, an episode a night. Because
That's
it's very much like... There's a lot of audio overload as well. Like, there's music and characters talking really fast as there's, like, lots of sound effects happening. And so, yeah, I'm just going to maybe watch it at half speed.
Slow it down a little. Would you recommend people watch this show?
I reckon I would. I had a good time with it. Right,
awesome.
But like I said, I was distracted by building a Lego spaceship. So I also had a good time doing that. So I'd recommend you watch Fooly Cooly while building Lego.
I recommend you just just watch Fully Coolly in a computer. Probably illegally. I don't know. I don't know any streaming service you can get it on. I don't know if you can still buy the DVDs. So get it on your computer. Go to fucking Anime Freak or whatever site you use. Watch yourself some Fully Coolly.
Watch yourself some Fully Cool. It's fully cool.
It's
E.
Fully Coolly. Fully Coolly. Fully Coolly Coolly. Fully Coolly.
Fully Coolly.
Fully Coolly Coolly.
Coolly.
Fully... What's... You know what's up now, Luke?
What's that?
It's time for the genre wheel. It's time to make something from the ground up.
He brought it back.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to theme this around Fully Coolly.
Alright.
I mean, because that's the topic.
So we're gonna... Are we setting it in like a Fully Coolly style universe?
I don't know. I guess we'll see what the genre is and see what works best.
Are we gonna pull like a meta-human? No. A meta-humor sort of thing. Anime style meta-humor? Is that what we're gonna go for today?
Yeah.
Right.
Say it's like spiritually in the same world as Fully Coolly.
Alright, cool. Guitars as weapons are a must. And we spin.
I think I'm going to learn the bass. Spinning!
Oh, it's making noise itself.
Horror.
Alright.
Okay. right off the bat. When the robot comes out of your head explodes, you die.
Okay. Going for some really gory horror here.
So, what if... So the main character sees this happen, early on, they're like, oh no! Then he has to, he's constantly wearing the eyebrows, because he knows if he takes them off, that's it. And also in this world, if you get hit with a bass guitar, it's like the real world. It fucking kills you.
Alright, I'm gonna go with a zombie-style horror film.
Zombie-style horror?
Yeah, so Medical Mechanica innovates in a new way and realizes that eyebrows have become a symbol for safety and security. So they pollute this world's supply of safety eyebrows with mind-controlling devices. And it's all the same characters from the show. You can frame this as like a bonus episode, a post episode, maybe definitely have it in high school. So now it's a little bit older. All the characters have progressed a little bit. Kanti's still around for no particular reason because he fucked off at the end there. But fuck it, I feel like a giant television with eyebrows is just hilarious.
What an image.
Maybe we could have. I don't know. Maybe we'll go back to Naruto. Maybe we'll have a new main character. I think it'd be kind of funny if you set this up and you didn't realize it was a Fully Coolly universe. And every time the eyebrows get put on someone, they get controlled by Medical Mechanica.
Control.
You have a scene of a person hiding, and it's just like glowing white anime eyes and a big old brown eyebrows.
Big old brown eyebrows.
Big old brown eyebrows.
Also, the robots eat brains. They came from brains, and therefore they want to eat more brains.
Alright, there we go.
They're born from brains and powered by brains.
I have a name for this horror-based show.
I think I've got one as well.
Pluck it.
Alright, that's pretty good. Mine was fully spooky! Alright, let's do another. Alright. Spinning the wheel.
Sci-fi fantasy?
Yeah,
I feel like that's the show.
That sort of fits in there, so you'll do another one?
Another one. Let's give it another.
Let's
give it a courtesy spin.
Spin the wheel. Kelsey, this show fits in so many genres.
It does. It's a very good show.
Mockumentary. We're never going to top Drew Phillips.
Alright, mockumentary. I just think...
Alright.
I think a day in the life of the person who has to investigate Haruko.
Yeah, I like that. Intercut with scenes of them following, Vespa Woman, but done in the style of This Is Spinal Tap.
Okay, yeah, I dig it. My dream for this mockumentary that will never exist is a highlight reel of the host and the cameraman just constantly getting beamed in the head by a bass guitar. She just appears out and goes, ha-ha!
Yep, I like it. Any names for it?
Ooh. String by String, maybe?
String by String? Okay.
Vespa!
Nice. Vespa.
Vespa.
Alright, one more.
Alright, one more.
Here we go.
Last one.
Spin it!
does that say?
Action adventure.
Alright, no, here we go. I got a fun meta parody fucking shit for you here.
Mm-hmm.
You take the biggest action adventure movies of the past 10 years and you just like animate Haruko over the top of them being like, what the fuck is this? Just trying to interact with shit and like just hitting characters in the head with the
Alright.
with a guitar.
You take all the lightsaber battles from the prequel films and replace the lightsabers with bass guitars.
No, she does that. It's like, you know what, this is cool, but you know what's better? Like, gets a fucking, her marker or whatever, a sticker, and puts the guitars in there, and these get, like, loud, clanging fucking metallic battles.
Just real deep tongues.
Not only did we come up with an action-adventure Fooly Cooly, we just fixed the Star Wars sequels. You can't deny it. I stand by.
Can you imagine if Kylo Ren's lightsaber was a bass guitar with two small bass guitars coming out of the bottom?
Sounds amazing!
For clarification, I actually have no issue with Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
No, I think it's great. I think the design of Kylo Ren is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But we'll get into Star Wars.
Yeah, we'll do that another time. That's a series of videos, that is.
Should we... Is next week the time to start a series of videos? Is that too soon?
Well, we got something planned for next week. We got something we're going to talk about.
We do, actually, yeah.
We're going to talk about Blade Runner.
We're going to talk about Blade Runner.
Yeah, both Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. So, come join us on the floor next week so while we talk about fucking Harrison Ford and whoever stars in the second one, because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I'm not going to spoil it.
Ooh.
It's the goose.
It's the goose?
Yeah, it's the goose.
It's the...
Yeah.
That's not a goose noise.
It's the goose.
Nice.
It's, we're going to answer the question of, do androids dream of electric sheep?
Hey!
That's what the book's called. Brought it back.
There we go.
Yep.
Alright.
So, anything else?
Nah, man.
No, fucking pack her up, boys.
Pack her up. See you next week on the floor.
On the floor.
Fully Cooly.
Watch yourself some Fully Cool. It's fully cool.
It's
E.
Fully Cooly. Cooly Cooly. Fully Cooly Cooly. Fully Cooly.
Fully Coolly.
Fully Cooly Cooly Cooly. Fully